Hey, 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 everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you are having an awesome day. It's kind of cool. We get to, our church is doing kind of like we're calling it an initiative because we're expanding. And so we're meeting on Mondays at 6:30 in the morning for prayer. So I get to start my week that way, which is one of my most favorite weeks. And if you're here in Alaska, please be careful. We have so many fires burning right now and road closures. And so just a special hand of protection on all of us here in the last frontier that have been burning all summer. And talk about on fire this time, right?
Good transition.
What is that, right?
Yeah.
I just kind of came up with that one. Mike Michalowicz has become a friend of mine, and just a huge shout out to Dan McCoy. Thank you so much for introducing us. Gosh, it's been over a year now.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. Dan hooked us up. You know, Dan is one of those guys whose relationship capital is massive. Like every time I think that I can make an introduction for him, he already knows the person.
Yeah.
So Mike Michalowicz is with us today. Mike, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me.
Barbara, I'm thrilled to be here. I'm just happy we're doing this in a live broadcast too. So this is super cool.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, when you join, just like Tiffany Russell did, say hey or say, hey, Mike, can't wait to see
you. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I can see some of the viewers. I can't see the comments. So, I do see comments. I'm going to click on that so I can see that.
Okay.
Definitely people should be shouting us out.
Yeah, do a shout out. You know, if nothing else, your name gets on this feed and you don't know who is going to see your name, who then will connect with you. And I always believe that you might as well stand up and be noticed because it does make a huge difference. So stand up, be noticed, and say hello, especially for those of you who don't know, October the 26th, very special day at Life University. Not only the Women's Chiropractic Leadership Summit from 8 to 5, but from 6 to 8, this guy is doing a VIP mastermind. So, Mike, let's talk about the VIP mastermind and specifically, how is it that we can actually raise our profits without adding stress?
Yeah. So, and a big shout out to Robin. She just did a live comment too. So rock and roll, Robin. So, interestingly, it's not through selling more. And I think a lot of business owners have a misunderstanding of what sales is and how that relates to stress. Sales equals organizational stress. And what I mean by this is the more sales you have coming into your chiropractic practice or any business, quite frankly, the more obligation you have, right? So the more money you're generating, the more responsibility you have, and that translates to more work or more stress on the organization. Now, you can manage that through efficiencies, but it doesn't necessarily translate to profit. In fact, a lot of businesses think they can sell their way into profit, and it never happens. What we need to do is make profit a perpetual habit. And that's what we're going to do. That's what's going to reduce the stress on the organization. Every single transaction you have at your practice, we're going to take an immediate predetermined percentage of that money out, profit first, allocate it toward a profit account, reserve it away, and then have the business kind of right size itself around its true operating expenses, what's truly available. And the interesting thing is when you start taking your profit first, now you're reverse engineering how your business should operate. I have a golden rule. If you take your profit first and you look at your expenses and you can't pay your bills, that's your business now telling you you can't afford your bills. There's something fundamentally wrong with the business, and we need to either increase margin or we need to cut unnecessary expenses. Usually it's a combination of those two. And that's how we increase profitability without increasing the stress.
And I love that it's not just about adding more.
No.
Right? Like it can also be, and you know, so many times, and you've probably talked to entrepreneurs like this before, the worry of, you know, I just don't want to grow because it's just going to add more stress. I don't want to learn new things because I don't even have more time in my schedule. So what do you say to that person who says, I don't want to grow? Like I want to grow, but I don't want to grow because honestly, what I'm saying is I don't know how to do it without being like totally underwater and stressed out and miserable.
So well, first I want to shout out Michelle, Pamela, and Tiffany because they're all saying hi. So hey guys, the right size business can find you. That's my answer. What frustrates me is I travel all the time. So I go through the airports and you see all the magazines in the business section. You see Sarah Blakely or Mark Zuckerberg or whoever the entrepreneur of the day is. And like they grew $1 billion company. You should too. And that is the biggest line of crap. Like bigger is not better. And those entrepreneurs, maybe that serves and speaks to them. But as we grow our practice, the right size business can find us. And if it's a solo practitioner, it's just us and it gives us joy, that's awesome. And if it's a bigger practice and it gives you joy, that's fine. But that's step one. The right size business can find you. Step two is any size business can have profitability. I am actually more impressed by a company that does, say, $200,000 in revenue and the owner's taking home $150,000 a year, than a company's doing $1 million and the owner's barely squeaking out a $50,000 salary. Like, even off a small revenue, you can take substantial profit. The key is this. Once you, what you need to do is implement the profit first system, I believe, and start allocating a percentage to profit. We keep on increasing it. Now there's other, and at the live event, we'll be talking about this in detail. There's other accounts you need to set up, but just focus on the profit account. As you set this up over time, we keep expanding our profitability, constraining expenses, increasing, most importantly, increasing margins to justify those profit margins that we're dictating. And over time, you can grow into an elite profitability machine, even with a business, I'm doing air quotes, that only does $100,000 or $200,000. So it's all about the percentage you take out of it. It's all about doing or establishing the business to a position where it gives you joy, that you love the work you're doing and the size. Not everyone is born to manage other people. Some of us are born to do the work. We love doing the work, but it's allocating the percentage of profit, increasing that and learning from it as the business speaks to us and says, can't pay your bills anymore. We need to further adjust, reducing costs, increasing margins. And that's the process. Profit first is a deliberate, slow process. Like when we have over 150,000 businesses that are now doing profit first, by the end of 2019, we're expecting over 200,000 have implemented it. Here's what we found out. How I love that. It gets me so excited. But here's what I found out is that the businesses that just rush into it and try to do the entire system at the highest level and become this fiscally elite company overnight are setting themselves up for tragedy. It's too abrupt of a change. Mm-hmm. It's the businesses that very slowly and deliberately roll this out. I go to a chiropractor. I found when my back is out, you don't fix it in one pop. It's multiple visits and adjustments, and it's incremental adjustments until finally I feel amazing. The exact same thing is with the finances. It's slow, persistent, but consistent adjustments. You stay on this prescription, if you will, of every quarter ratcheting it up. And sometimes it takes a few quarters. Sometimes it even takes a few years, but then you're among the fiscally elite in your business, regardless of the size of your business.
That's awesome. I love the analogy. And so to my colleagues, we get that, right? Someone who comes in on their first visit and says, hey, doc, fix me. We're like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a journey. We need to go through a paradigm shift. And if you look at the changes in your practice the same way and consider in your report of findings, how do you lay out that structure for your practice member? How do you let them know, like, we're going to be together for a long time? So the most important thing is to take a step forward, gain stability, take another step forward, gain stability. It's not how fast can we go, but how do we have that stability? And, the up and down the roller coaster practice, I think that creates a lot more stress for individuals than just the practice that just keeps going and keeps going and keeps growing incrementally, right? Yeah. Also, and that kind of growth you can find out because you're tracking your metrics, because you're tracking how it's growing, of how do I rinse and repeat and do it again and do it again and do it again, so that we have that confidence in practice. Let's talk about, hey, there's Henry. So Dr. Henry and I have a call together today. And Henry, I'm so excited to meet you in just a few hours. Tiffany said, I just spoke to a Profit First CPA this morning. Oh, cool. Your website matched me with. Very cool, Tiffany. And Tiffany already bought her ticket to the WCLS and to the VIP Mastermind. So I want to tell all of you this. From this broadcast, the first 10 people who get their VIP ticket, and a link will be below, will receive an autographed copy of Profit First and your picture with Mike Michalowicz.
Wow.
That's right.
You can put that on the ceiling in your room where you're doing the adjustments. So when the patient looks up, they see that picture of me and you together. It'll be a life-changing event.
Super stardom. Yeah, right. For sure. So let's talk about, how is the mastermind going to be different, and why does everyone watching now or who will catch this later, why honestly should they be there?
Yeah. So let me put it, that's what my teenage daughter would say. She'd be like, yeah, dad. Yeah. So the mastermind or the VIP session, I'm bringing the best of everything and how it all complements. So you can see strategically, I position my books behind me for marketing purposes. I'm also working on a new book, one that you don't see here. My latest research on how to pinpoint challenges in your practice that need to be fixed. So what we do the VIP session is, the keynote, we're going to talk about profit first, and we're going to drive it home. The VIP, we're going to talk about the holistic vantage point of the entire business. Where are all the challenges, and how do you pinpoint the biggest challenge you have? We're going to talk about strategies from the pumpkin plan. I saw that Tiffany, I think it was, or someone, or Michelle. It was Michelle. Michelle's implemented it, nicely done. So we're going to talk about concepts from that, even strategies from my first book, to my latest and greatest stuff that's not going to be released for another year or so. So it's an amalgamation of all the best practices. I think we even, I don't know, were we able to carve out time for a hot seat? I can't remember.
Yes,
we did?
Hot seats for the VIP.
Good. So, and that's my favorite. That's where, and it takes some courage to step up on stage with me. And, maybe we'll do a little glass of wine together or something. But you come up on stage and we're going to talk about your business. And it maybe takes a little courage to do that, but it's something that I don't typically do with people. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm typically researching and writing. And when I work with clients, they come to my office, and it's an expensive venture for them. In the VIP session, it's just included, and we're going to get to do it. It actually gives me some of my greatest joy because it's a very dynamic discussion, and we'll improve your business on the spot. Maybe we'll find something grand, something small, but we'll move your business forward.
I love that. And I love that, like, one-on-one, because all of a sudden there'll be a breakthrough. And all of you chiropractors know that feeling when your new practice member or that practice member like gets it. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, I can actually see, like, I remember I didn't know my son needed glasses. And then when he went and I took him, he got glasses and he put them on for the first time. It was like, oh, Mom, look. I can see. Yeah, exactly. And so that's what this VIP session is going to be like. And if you're one of the lucky ones that submits your questions and you're chosen for a hot seat, you're going to get like one-on-one help from Mike, and we're all going to get to benefit from your courage. So again, the first 10 that get your VIP ticket today will get an autographed copy with Mike and the opportunity for a hot seat with Mike.
Oh, one of the latest and greatest stuff. And apparently Tiffany and I will be drinking some whiskey. So you can see that.
Wow, Tiffany, I didn't know that about you. That's pretty cool. You just keep going up and up and up in my book, Tiffany.
That's legit, yeah.
Sharing to whiskey with you, but I know somebody else who will, and that is Chelsea McLean, who is also in the boot camp, who I'm sure will be at the VIP session. She is a whiskey drinker as well. So, Mike, let's talk about one other thing. And one of the I love Profit First. I also love Clockwork. I have
thank
to.
You.
So what about like time? We can't manufacture time. And I love my coach, Rich Christensen, who thinks you're the bomb, by the way.
Oh, Rich.
He said, we can't manage time. All we can do is manage our emotions about time. And I work on how it brings all of that into perspective, and how you have to take personal responsibility between doing, deciding, delegating, and designing.
Yeah.
So let's real quickly, let's give our viewers a couple nuggets about Clockwork and how we get back our time for the woman or the man who's watching right now, who is looking for how do I do this? I've been trying to do time management. I've been trying to do a better job with my time, and they just can't get out in front of that kind of affliction.
So, it's funny. I have clarity on my life's purpose. I've defined it for myself. Maybe it's God-given, but I know that I am here on this planet to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. In fact, I have these little bracelets here, which is part of it is an attempt to stay in my youth, which is not working so well. But the other part is it says eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. And I wear it constantly as a constant reminder that that's my mission. And I found that the default belief that entrepreneurial poverty is that it's about money, that it's financial poverty. And that's part of it, that many entrepreneurs are broke. But the other part of poverty, or there's many, but one of them is time poverty. And actually, this is the more insidious challenge because you'll never get your time back. You can never recover it. Every second spent is a second gone. And most entrepreneurs that I've worked with are devoting the vast majority of their time, almost an inordinate amount of time, toward grinding it out and hustling and pushing the business forward, and are sacrificing everything in life. And they're not seeing much progress as a result. I'll tell you this: if you've concluded that grind and hustle is how you grow your business, and you've been doing that more than a year, I think you've proven grind and hustle does not grow a business. If you have to carry a business on your back, you're in real trouble. Well, what I found is I think most entrepreneurs, and I was waiting for this too, is that one day, all of a sudden, the entire business will flip to being right. Like one day, I'm not profitable. If I keep on growing it, one day I'll be profitable. And with time, if I just grind and hustle long enough, at one point, the business will start to operate itself. It'll just kind of fall into place. And the reality is it never does. It's a very deliberate process. And it's not a switch like that. It is a throttle. We have to every day be extracting ourselves. In fact, it's funny. I was listening to another book this morning. I was listening to Audible. I think it was The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, you better stop asking, how do I get more done? And start asking, how do I get less done? Or how do I do less? Not how I do more, it's how do I do less? And yet most of us are saying, how do I do more? How do I get more time? How do I get more work done? No, that's a very much a productivity mindset where we're impacting more and more work in every day. It's exhausting. The successful people, according to Gary Keller, and from my experience, are asking ourselves how to do less. And here's the question. Instead of saying, how do I do it? Ask, who is going to do this? And I realized you may have a small practice, maybe you have one assistant, maybe you have none, maybe it is just you. You can get a virtual helper, you can get a personal assistant, but no matter what, there's people, contractors, there's people around you that you can start delegating work to. Our mindset is any work we're doing now, we must continue to delegate out to other people, other resources, so they can carry the work and constantly be getting off our plates. That moves us from a doer to what I call a designer. Someone who's a clarity on the vision and then choreographs the resources around them to get the outcomes they want. And I think that's the definition. We're talking about what's a successful business. I think a definition of a successful business is a business that doesn't have a dependency on the owner, regardless of how big or small the business is in revenue. If the business doesn't have dependency on the owner, then you have the flexibility to do what you want, when you want in life and in your business. You own it after all. You can do the work that you love to do and not do the rest of the work. And if you want to sell your business, and sadly, most chiropractors never will, if you want to sell your organization, you can. If the business depends upon you, you're working in the business, it is very hard to sell because it means you have to stick around. But if you are able to get the business to run without you, design the outcomes, now you have a highly saleable business. You have a money-making machine. So that's what we want to move toward. And there's that residual benefit of a very sellable business.
So I want to clarify a couple of things because there's this theme running around in our profession that I don't agree with. And that is that you don't want to have a personality-based business. And here's why I am not a fan of that, is because relationships are so key.
Yeah.
And so I just want to clarify something. Mike didn't say, don't have relationships in your business. Mike didn't say that who you are in your business isn't important. He's saying it's possible. And we want to show you how to build a team that carries forth your mission and your brand and you into the workplace and into your community without it just being you.
Yeah. Listen, I'm an author, right? I have 14 employees here, and that's a small business, but for an author, that's a big deal. But everything comes with my personality, right? It's all brand around me. So every person that's recruited here, we go by a thing called immutable laws or certain values that we adhere by. We are very integral in our communication. I get, hundreds and hundreds of emails today. As we're talking right now, 4 additional emails have come in about my books. I can see them right on my screen over here. And Jenna, one of my colleagues here, will respond to these emails, even though they came to me. And we simply say, hey, this is Mike's assistant, Jenna. I want to tell you, he's getting hundreds of emails every single day now. So I'm taking the responsibility to respond to you. So you know you are being heard. And I will brief Mike on your email at the end of the day. And every day she goes through the emails very quickly. So we're able to remove the work from me. I still get the report I need in a very condensed period, but the personality is still me. In fact, I believe in our practices, that's one of the most important things is the rapport with our customer base, the connection and the adoration we have. Could you imagine, instead of being the person that's doing the adjustments, doing the insurance claims, all that stuff, you're just the one that's meeting and greeting your customers, talking with them about their diagnosis, talking about their health, and then letting a chiropractor adjust and visiting them again afterwards? Like now you can play at a much higher level and you can even go higher than that. So that's the goal.
Yes. And it's always like the things that you're doing now, right? Create a team so that you can step up here, right?
That's right.
You create a team so that you step up here. If you're always doing the same thing, like you're not really expanding your brand.
No.
At all. And so that's what I'm so excited. Like that's why I asked this guy to be the keynote at the Women's Chiropractic Leadership Summit, October the 26th from 8 to 5 at Life University. And then a very special VIP mastermind from 6 to 8. The VIP mastermind, men are invited. So we encourage you, make sure you grab a ticket. And remember, the first 10 to grab their ticket from this broadcast today will receive an autographed copy of Profit First from Mike. So I want to, just before we have 4 more minutes, all of you, here's the last thing I want to talk about real quickly. Eradicating poverty, entrepreneurial poverty. I want to make sure all of you hear that Mike didn't say just coast when you're working. He did not say that. Okay. So when you're in your office, you're just kind of like, looking back and taking it easy. When you're working, yes, grind in order to accomplish what is necessary. So I think that there's can you kind of clarify that? Because there's also that notion of, just, take it easy.
Yeah, no. I'm definitely not saying that.
That is not, I know Mike, and that's not what he is saying.
No, the concept of hustle and grind has become very popular now. I don't like it because what it's being interpreted is carry the business on your back. Do whatever it takes to be successful. I understand the sentiment, but if that's the persistent belief, you will never be successful. In the early stages, you have to do everything, but we have to, as you pointed out, level up, and level up again. We actually have to level up to more difficult work, and it's the thinking work. When you're sitting in your office contemplating, it actually takes more calories to burn thought than it is to just go out there and do another adjustment. So we actually feel that immediate satisfaction. Oh, we took care of another patient. I made some money. But we're actually using a lower calorie burn because we're not thinking on how do I get other people getting this work done? How do I have my customers so thrilled about the experience without having to see me and me do all the work? That stuff is very sophisticated thinking. The funny thing is there is a statue, I talk about this in Clockwork, there's a statue dedicated to the importance of thinking. It's called The Thinker. There's some naked guy sitting there contemplating, and that's what we need to do. Listen, the day before you start your business, you were doing that. You were dreaming what the business could be like, how you could grow it. And then the day you start it, it's all about doing. And I'll tell you, there is no statue called The Doer. Some woman pulling her hair out with a cell phone in her hand, trying to make a call while doing an adjustment with her feet. No. That doesn't exist. There is no statute. So we need to elevate to the thinking stage, which is sophisticated with work. It's about choreographing resources, achieving outcomes, bringing about consistency, bringing personality and branding all through your business. That's what I'm suggesting you do.
What
was that?
I said, did everyone hear that?
Are you crying? I see you welling up, Barb. I see a tear coming down.
Yeah, that's so the key is to care for yourself so well outside of your business that when you're in your business, you're fully on, 100% on, that you have a team that can handle all of this stuff. So you're the hostess with the mostest. It's so cool to hear you say that, because I remember in practice always working to do that, to make it that I was actually out in front sharing with my practice members instead of always in back doing all the work. I want everyone just to feel like, hey, I've arrived at the office and I'm going to get care, but first I'm going to get me some loving with Dr. Barb. So I love that. I love that. I love that. And if you love that too, you're for sure going to want to join us. So Mike, as we wrap it up today, what final words do you have for everyone who's watching or who will watch this later?
Well, attend the VIP. And I'm not just saying that just to say, listen, if you want to step up, we're going to talk about it at the VIP session. We're going to get some intense one-on-one time. And I'll tell you what's even greater than maybe anything that I can ever espouse to you. It's the fact that there's other VIPers there. When we circle around with a community of like-minded people that are driven, we have to drive. I'm in multiple support groups or masterminds like that of people that are performing at a higher level than me. I'm in an authorship group with authors that you are just like world-class authors. I can't believe I got in there, and I'm in that group because they're all performing ahead of me and it's pulling me up. That's why I think everyone should go to the VIP session. So if you attend the event or not, I'm excited for you. Surround yourself by those people. But Barbara, I just want to thank you. You've created this group specifically for that reason. So I really encourage people to attend the VIP and let's elevate each other.
Amen. And I want to give a shout out to Kat. Kat watches like most of my Facebook lives and always shares. So Kat, thank you for making your impact and for caring enough about other people that you always share. So Mike, thank you. I cannot wait for October the 26th.
I know, me too.
We are looking forward to seeing all of you there. So grab your ticket, share this, and if you would, drop a comment in the comment section and thank Mike. He is like has a super demanding schedule and still agreed to be with us today. So
pulled it off.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate you. All of you have a great day. God bless you. See ya. Bye.
Bye all.